in listen-only mode.
Good morning and welcome to the weekly impact weather briefing for Central North Carolina. We'll be covering this week, April 25th through May 1st, 2016. My name is Brandon Locklear. I'm a senior forecaster at the National Weather Service here in Raleigh. Before we look at the upcoming forecast, let's go back and look at what happened over the last several days. If you remember from last week's briefing, we were seeing expanding D0 conditions across North Carolina and with D1 on the horizon. Luckily, that front that came through on Friday and Saturday brought a good dosing of rain across the eastern half, as you can see in the bottom graphic there. That's a three-day total for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with most of that falling Friday and Saturday, of a widespread 1 to 1.5 to 2 inches across the eastern half of North Carolina. But notice across the western half, they really missed out on the significant rainfall. And from what I'm hearing, there's possibility that we could see D1 being introduced across western part of North Carolina. So for people living in western part of the state, that's something to look out for. And hopefully maybe we can add some rainfall with this upcoming week. For this week's weather pattern, beginning for the early part of the week, today and tomorrow, as you can see, that H that's off the over the western Atlantic, we'll have high pressure offshore, and around that high pressure we'll see southwesterly flow start to bring increasing humidity levels as well as temperatures. And today will likely be one of the cooler days across portions of the area, with highs around lower 80s today. And then tomorrow we should be widespread in the mid 80s, maybe even some upper 80s. As we get into the middle part of the week, notice there's a cold front sagging across southern Virginia, northern North Carolina. That's going to be the main weather feature this week to look out for, especially starting late tomorrow through Thursday night period. Some of the models bring that front down into central North Carolina, and some of them are stalling it to our north over southern Virginia. And that exact location is going to be important for temperatures as well as the precipitation chances. If it stalls to our north, which is what one of the models is showing, we could see lesser rainfall amounts on Wednesday, and maybe even to Thursday too. But eventually that front, as you get towards Thursday and Friday, there's a front coming in from the west on Thursday. When that moves in, that's when we're expecting to see our best rain chances on Thursday. So if you got any outdoor plans, you should pay attention to our latest forecast as we get closer to that by midweek. And then over the weekend, that front will finally slip down to our south. We should see a mostly dry weekend, and Friday could end up being dry as well. And then we should see rain chances increasing late Sunday and into Monday, as you see that low pressure system that's over the Mississippi Valley in that final graphic down in the bottom right. So overall, you know, if you had to describe this week, it would be dry the first part of the week, with increasing rain chances and storminess as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, especially across that northern part of the area. Looking at severe thunderstorm potential, I mentioned it's going to be stormy, but looking at some of the early parameters, you know, we're not looking at a widespread, significant, high-impact, severe event. We certainly could see some scattered strong to severe storms, especially on Thursday. But right now we're not seeing anything that's going to be a major outbreak for severe weather. Next graphic, we're seeing our QPF, our rainfall totals or expected rainfall totals over the next several days. Notice on Wednesday you can see the heavier amounts across the north. That's going to be in the vicinity of the stalled front. And then on Thursday and Friday, We're going to hope to get some of that rain down here as that front goes through. And then those rain totals on Saturday and Sunday, most of that, if it comes in, will be late Sunday. Again, the timing could be a little bit too early in this graphic. Could be more into Sunday night and more into Monday. But overall, I would say that, we definitely see our higher potential for rainfall amounts across the north versus the south. Looking at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, is showing below normal temperatures 2 weeks out ahead of time. And then for precipitation chances, we're also looking at slightly above normal precipitation chances, which is good for the impending drought. So to summarize, as I mentioned before, the stalled frontal zone near the North Carolina-Virginia state line will be the key weather feature this week, so we'll keep an eye on that. Now that stalled front will mean that we'll have better rain chances, but it also mean cooler temperatures. So overall, we should see temperatures near normal across the north as we get into Wednesday, and then as you get further south away from that front, we should be warmer, and so we should be above normal. So, overall looking at possibly around 80, lower 80s across the north to as warm as upper 80s across the south. Thursday, again, looks like it's going to be the wettest, stormiest day, so if you've got any plans on that day, make sure you check out the forecast before heading out. And as I mentioned before, temperatures will be at or above normal. Well, that wraps it up. If we have any questions, we'll take those now.